Isaiah chapter 30. Woe to the rebellious children. This is the Lord's declaration. They carry out a plan, but not mine. They make an alliance, but against my will, piling sin on top of sin without asking my advice. They set out to go down to Egypt in order to seek shelter under Pharaoh's protection and take refuge in Egypt's shadow. But Pharaoh's protection will become your shame, and refuge in Egypt's shadow your humiliation. For though his prince are at Zoan, and his messengers reach as far as Hanes, everyone will be ashamed because of the people who can't help. They are of no benefit, they are of no help. They are good for nothing but shame and disgrace. Their pronouncement concerning the animals of Negev, through the land of the trouble and distress, of lioness and lion, a viper, a flying serpent, they carry the wealth on the back of the donkeys, and the treasure on the humps of camels. To a people who will not help them, Egypt's help is completely worthless. Therefore, I will call her Rahab, who just sits. Go now, write it on a tablet in the presence and inscribe it on a scroll. It will be for the future, forever and ever. They are a rebellious people, deceptive children, children who do not want to listen to the Lord's instructions. They say to the seers, do not see, and to the prophets, do not prophesy the truth to us. Tell us flattering things, prophesy illusions. Get out of the way, leave the pathway. Write us off the Holy One of Israel. Therefore the Holy One of Israel says, because you have rejected this message and have trusted in oppression and deceit and have depended on them, this iniquity of yours will be like a crumbling gap, a bulge in a high wall, whose collapse will come on in an instant. Suddenly, its collapse will be like a shattering of a potter's jar, crushed to pieces, so that not even a fragment of pottery will be found among its shattered remains. No fragment large enough to take fire from a hearth, or to scoop water from the cistern. For the Lord God, the Holy One of Israel, has said, you will be delivered by returning and resting. Your strength will lie in quiet confidence. But you are not willing. You say, no, we will escape on horses. Therefore you will escape, and we will ride on fast horses. But those who pursue you will be faster. 1,000 will flee at the threat of one. At the threat of 5 you will flee, until you remain like a solitary pole on a mountaintop, or a banner on a hill. Therefore the Lord is waiting to show you mercy, and is rising up to show you compassion. For the Lord is a just God. All who wait patiently for him are happy. For people will live on Zion and Jerusalem. You will never weep again. He will show you favor to you at the sound of your outcry. As soon as the hearers, he will answer you. The Lord will give you meager bread and water during oppression, but your teacher will not hide any longer. Your eyes will see your teacher, and whenever you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear this command behind you. This is the way, walk in it. Then you will defile your silver-plated idols and your gold-plated images. You will throw them away like menstrual cloths and call them filth. Then he will send rain for you, for your seed that you have sown on the ground, and the food to produce of the ground will be rich and plentiful. On that day your cattle will graze in open pastures. The oxen and donkeys that work the ground will eat salted fodder scattered with winnowing shovel and a fork. Streams flowing with water will be on every high mountain and every raised hill on that day of great slaughter. When the towers fall, the moonlight will be as bright as the sunlight, and the sunlight will be 7 times brighter like the light of 7 days. And on that day the Lord bandages his people's injuries and heals the wounds he inflicted. Look, there the Lord is coming from afar away, his anger burning and heavy with smoke. His lips are full of fury, and his tongue is like a consuming fire. His breath is like an overflowing torrent that rises to your neck. He comes to sift the nations in a sieve of destruction, and to put a bridle on the jaws of the peoples to lead them astray. Your singing will be like that on the night of the holy festival, and your heart will rejoice like one who walks to the music of a flute, going up to the mountain of the Lord, to the rock of Israel. And the Lord will make the splendor of his voice heard, and reveal his arm striking in anger, in angry wrath, and a flame of consuming fire. In driving rain, a torrent, and hailstones, Assyria will be shattered by the voice of the Lord. He will strike with a rod, and every stroke of the appointed staff that the Lord will bring down to him will be the sound of tambourine and lyres. He will fight against him who brandishes weapons. Indeed, Topheth has been ready for the king for a long time. Its funeral pyre is deep and wide, with plenty of fire and wood. The breath of the Lord, like a torrent of burning sulfur, kindles.